Okay, we're here toward the tail end of August, so that means I'm starting to already think about where I'm going to be going on location for the fall of 2025. So as you could see with me here, I have a great special guest, Steven Jarvis, who is the CEO and head CPA of Retirement Tax Services. You see the sign right in his background. So that should be a clue of where I'll be going next. And I believe Steven, well, first of all, Steven, thanks for joining me on this Wednesday afternoon.
Yeah, excited to be here. I appreciate you inviting me on, Chuck. I know we've had a chance to meet at multiple of the conferences you've been to, and really excited that you're going to be at our event here at the end of September, bringing great coverage to advisors.
Absolutely. And I believe yours will be the first event of the fall season that I'm going to have the pleasure of bringing goRIA on location to. So I'm super excited about that. So, Stephen, as you just mentioned, you and I have done some work before. We've met at a number of conferences, at other people's conferences, but I'm super excited to be at yours. I've heard a lot about it, not just from you, but from other folks, and it has a very different vibe. You know, I've done FPA, CFP, I've done all the acronyms, right? But now I'm excited to go to yours, which is simply called the Summit, and this will be the Summit 2025. So if you would, tell me and the audience, what am I going to be in for? What am I coming out there?
Yeah, well, Chuck, we really appreciate you not only coming out, but sharing what the great feedback you're hearing from other people. That's certainly the thing that gets us excited because, like you, I've been to a lot of conferences, and there are a lot of great conferences out there. But one of the things that myself and some of my business partners felt like was missing from some of those conferences was just the really hands-on tactical, how do I put this into practice? It's really easy to kind of get lost in the weeds and just fill the CE credit by going really deep on the tax code or something, of the maximal ways to rebalance portfolios or whatever it might be. And so what we said was, well, what would it look like if we got a bunch of advisors into a room, provided incredible speakers who can speak from first-hand experience of what works in the real day-to-day of being a financial advisor, and then give people a place to collaborate and learn from each other as well. And so this will actually be our third summit. We kicked this off in 2023, and it's grown exponentially ever. This will be about 3.5 times larger than the first one that we did. And that's because people have come and enjoyed it with the same advisors, keep coming back, and it keeps growing. Because like I said, we really have that commitment. The commitment we make to every single attendee is that it's almost a challenge of try and get through this conference without having actions that you can take when you get back to your office, because that's what we care about. What can you do to deliver more value to your clients, to your team, to your family? How do you improve? How do you get further on your journey to reaching the summit?
I love that. I dare you to not take something away from this conference. That's
Yeah.
fantastic. So, a couple of things you mentioned there. One in particular is one of my favorite parts of conferences, which is interacting with other advisors, right? I love sitting
Yeah.
in the audience and listening to all the different thought leaders. You know, Kitz is always there, Levine is
Yeah.
always there, and they're fantastic to listen to, and I love that. But I really love what I kind of call the muffin top, right? Are you a
Mhm.
Seinfeld fan by any chance?
Yep. Yep. I
Yeah,
know
you know
exactly what you're
muffin
talking
top.
about.
Okay.
Yep.
So
Top of the
muffin
muffin
top
too. Yeah.
for you youngsters in the audience that haven't seen Seinfeld, like my kids haven't yet, muffin top is an episode that refers to the fact that the best part of the muffin is the muffin top.
Yep.
So the muffin top for me, when it comes to conferences, is speaking with other advisors. And I've always been, now in the past, I've been shocked. I'm not shocked anymore because I see it all the time, how open they are, how willing they are to share the good, the bad, and the ugly about their
Mhm.
practices. And it seems like there's quite a bit of that with your conferences. Is that correct? And I look forward to a lot of engaging with other advisors one-on-one or in groups, perhaps.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we do a couple of things really well to just kind of pat myself on the back just a tiny bit because it's the feedback I hear as well. Through my podcast as well as through the Perfect RIA podcast, which my brother Matthew Jarvis and our good friend and partner Micah Shalansky will both be there as well. So we really set the stage on our podcast of hey, we care about what happens in the real world. We want people to share. We want to learn from mistakes. And then at the conference itself, we make it clear to all of our presenters that hey, you're not even we have sponsor partners because events are expensive and we need sponsors to make it a reality. But even for our sponsors, we make it really clear, hey, when you get on stage, if everyone forgets your name, they have to be able to take away valuable content still. And a lot of where that comes from is what they learn from each other. And so we include really big breaks during the day to make sure people have those opportunities. We do, even though we're getting a bigger and bigger room, we make sure we have mic runners and AV set up and all of that so that everything can be interactive because Chuck, like you, I very, even though I'm the one organizing this conference and I'll be on stage multiple times, I learn so much from the people in the audience. And so I look forward to giving people a chance to say, let's take a top. One of the things that stood out to me from last year's conference, we had a session where we were talking about relatively basic tax planning, and I turned it over to, hey, let's ask questions. And an advisor in the room who not only has been a great advisor himself for a long time, but he owns some tax practices. Like he's real deep. He's gone beyond a lot of people. He still just very genuinely said, "Hey, I'd love to hear from other people. How are you articulating the value of a Roth conversion to your clients?"
Hmm.
And it can be easy to say, "Well, I can find articles online about that. AI will tell me that." But there's a difference when other advisors who are working in the trenches alongside you say, "Hey, here's how I explain it to clients." And I was the presenter on stage. I didn't answer the question. I said, "Great. Who else in the audience?" And I was just, it was so great to hear. I heard examples I hadn't heard before. I heard analogies and ways of presenting this that even though I do this all the time, I was hearing new ways of doing it. I could see everybody taking notes. And that's what I was hearing during the breaks. And as we wrapped up the conference was that's where people really got the best takeaways.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. And when other advisors are telling you something, you know it's coming from real deal experience, right? So there's one thing, and
Mhm.
you mentioned AI, and AI is a great
Yeah.
resource, of course, but
Yeah.
AI has never had to convince a client of doing the right thing when the client is dead set on doing the wrong thing. I'm sorry, AI is
Yeah.
not there yet. It might be, right? They're building all these megawatts worth of computing power, I suppose, but it's not there yet. So the other question I had for you, and I've seen this evolving at some other conferences, and I do love this quite a bit, is the idea of roundtables. Are you doing that at this
Mhm.
point, or is that something you guys are thinking about doing?
From the standpoint of like panels of having multiple people present or roundtables where people are working with each other, what do you mean by
More
that?
like breakouts, right? So
Mm,
I've seen this done very well at some other conferences where you would have like someone up on stage saying, "Here's the topic, discuss
yeah.
amongst yourselves," type of thing. Have you guys ever tried that? Because I love that.
Yeah, so we're really big on having those interactive sessions. We're actually taking it a step further than I've seen at other conferences this year. And in 2025, we're going to introduce the Tax Olympics.
Oh,
And so I won't give away too many of the details, but we do still have seats available if you want to come be part of a great conference. And to your point, Chuck, be very interactive. We've got this outlined kind of Olympic style events where there's going to be both team and individual. There's going to be a combination of how quickly can you get something done, how well can you get something done. There'll be a judging component that will be peers judging each other on how well they do. And so, yes, I am all for the interactive element of it. And we like to have a little bit of fun along the way.
I absolutely love that. We got to figure out a way to cover that to bring in the goRIA audience. So for those of folks in the audience that are not fortunate enough to be able to get there live, I definitely want to be able to show that. So we'll work out some logistics to make that happen. I think that could be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to it.
Yeah. So whenever I'm talking with someone about a conference, and we're talking about the content, check,
Yeah.
networking, check. Let's talk about, well, the Olympics sounds like a pretty fun thing too. But we were talking a little bit off camera that you have some other fun surprises involved too, because people want to learn, they want to network, they want to be entertained too. So what do you have in mind for that?
Yeah, so we go out of our way every year to just to make sure this is an incredible experience because the best endorsement we can get that we are doing well is people coming back. And so when we see people sign up again, they invest their time and money to come back again. That's how we know we're doing a good job when they tell their friends and invite other people. And so obviously the content from stage being quality like that's just I mean, that's table stakes. Like there has to be quality content. So we look for other ways to keep elevating the experience. We're gonna once again bring we have an MC that helps us just keep things on track and keep things moving. He by profession he's a stand-up comedian, so he takes a topic that can get a little boring and makes sure that well, we stay engaged throughout. We're also just where we're at in the planning process. Now we're looking at how do we elevate everyone's experience. You're coming to a tax conference, you're coming to a practice management conference. We get that. But we're also going to have vendors there that will just help with things that you might not think of as, hey, this is going to revolutionize my practice from a technical standpoint, but it's going to help me pursue hobbies. It's going to help me be a better person, a better team member, all those kinds of things. So we're going to cover a variety of topics, and we're going to make sure that in between sessions we're having some fun too.
That sounds real good. So with all that said, give us the details, the 411 as the youngsters will say, like where, when, and all this, and how can people register?
Yeah, so retirementtaxservices.com/summit. or find me on LinkedIn and send me a message. I'm more than happy to get you connected with my team and get you signed up. The event is September 30th through October 3rd in Tempe, Arizona. You'll fly into the Phoenix airport. It's about 10 minutes from the airport, right next to the Arizona State University campus. It's at the Omni Hotel. Yeah, we're super excited. It'll kick off September 30th is a Tuesday. We have a welcome reception that evening and registration. And then it's all day Wednesday, all day Thursday, half day Friday. Every year as we grow a little bit, we keep packing the agenda. So in addition to myself, my brother Matthew, Micah Shalansky, Jeffrey Levine will be there this year.
Nice.
We have some great speakers from the Ed Slott team coming. And then we have several partners who are in this space and just do things that advisors are going to benefit from. So, you'll see the whole agenda when you go out to retirementtechservices.com/summit. But we pack as much as we possibly can into that 2.5 days because we know that you're investing your time and money to be there. And again, I'm really serious about that challenge. If you can come spend 2.5 days with us and not have something you can go home and implement, please tell me. I will gladly refund your money.
Wow, I love that. And I could say without question, that's the first conference I've heard that type of guarantee. So I love it. Steven Jarvis, thank you so much for sharing this news. I am truly excited to go there for the first time myself this year. I don't think it's going to be the last time. And as I said, I believe it's the kickoff for the goRIA On Location fall seminar and conference season. And I could not think of a better way to start it off. Steven, thanks for joining me today. All right. So that's all we have for today. And I will be back next Wednesday, 3 o'clock Eastern time, as per usual, with some more content. So for now, on behalf of goRIA Fueled by Investment News, I'm Chuck Vela, and I will see you then. Thanks for joining us. Take care.